if you look at the world today and you say, this world is not, people don't put the television, the radio, media, social media, things like that, if they don't put Jesus as the head, then we're lost. Because it doesn't matter if Jesus is fake or if Jesus is real. That's what people go off of. They want to be like, oh no, this religion is the religion, you know what I mean? And the Christianity religion is not right. Judaism is not right. Islam is not right. Hindu is not right. African religions, Santeria, voodoo, oh, that's not right. By the way, voodoo been changed. If you look at the voodoo rituals that they do, a lot of that stuff was wild and crazy work. And you know that. The ancestors used to use voodoo on the slave owners and the slave workers. That's where voodoo came from. We should never have lost that ability to use that voodoo on an oppressor. You know what I'm saying? You should never lose that ability to lose that voodoo over an oppressor. Because you need that voodoo over. You still oppressed. You still in the United States. Your ancestors might have been here already. Or your ancestors might have been brought here on a boat, which was very few. And plus the boat, one of the boats was named Jesus. So, religions, as long as they're telling to do the right thing, that's all that matters. And any religion or anything you do, just do what's right by yourself and do what's right by people. That's basically the gist of religion. It's sad that we have to have books in order to teach people how to be good people. Because even with these books and these documents and the scrolls and everything, we still can't treat each other right. That goes back to slavery days, or that goes back to Germany days, or that goes back to many other countries who had slaves. It's not only been black slaves, there's been many slaves. Well, actually, white people were the first slaves. So, we're not going to get too far into that. There's a book on that. But as far as what I'm telling you now is about, if the head is not Jesus, and everybody's not looking to present themselves to the Father like Jesus, then this world is going to be lost. That's why they say Jesus is coming back, because he could come back, but he needs to come back in the people. He needs to come back in the people. He needs to return the spirit back to the people so the people can have a Jesus spirit and do right by everything. That's the real coming. The coming of when people start to treat people with respect. There's always going to be some disrespectful people out there, and that's just how it is. And they usually get handled. But if the sinner is not Yeshua, there's nothing. We have nothing. And that's the problem with the world right now. We glorify celebrities, we glorify everything but Yeshua. It's the only person you should be glorifying, for real. Think about it.